This is the STV News. Good evening. John Swinney has been confirmed as the next leader of the SNP and is on course to be elected as the next First Minister. He ran unchallenged for the position and is expected to be sworn in later this week. In his acceptance speech this afternoon, Mr Swinney claimed he was the leader to restore harmony and will begin a new chapter within the party. But opposition MSPs say he represents more of the same. Our reporter Vanessa Taff has the latest.
It wasn't much of a leadership contest. John Swinney was the only candidate in the race.
The fact that I am the only candidate demonstrates that the Scottish National Party is coming back together again now.
A familiar face within the party, he takes over after Humza Yousaf's resignation last week. Setting out his goal for the future, he claims the SNP have had a rough and tough time of it recently.
Today is the beginning of a new chapter in our party's history. A chapter that will be about coming together, uniting and dedicating ourselves to the service of Scotland.
With a renewed focus on jobs, the economy and the climate, John Swinney's also setting out to win back voters who've turned away from independence.
Many of your predecessors have tried and failed to deliver independence. What makes you think that you are going to be the First Minister and leader of your party that will do that?
I recognise, as I've said over the course of the last few days, there needs to be greater levels of support for independence to make that a compelling proposition that can be delivered within Scotland. So the work of persuasion is necessary. It's an essential requirement to win people over to the arguments for independence, to see why independence is the solution. And I think of all the things that I'm perhaps most renowned for, is that I'm a persuader. I believe in engaged persuasion and dialogue in Scotland.
Opposition leaders claim this won't be anything fresh or new, rather more of the same.
John Swinney served in Alex Salmond's cabinet, in Nicola Sturgeon's cabinet, and was one of Humza Yousaf's strongest supporters from the backbenches. So I'm not sure this continuity candidate is the person to change things. And again, we've seen, as with all nationalist leaders, he will be focused on independence above everything else.
The idea that this is somehow change, I think, is frankly laughable. This is continuity, more of the same, about managing his political party, not running the country and delivering for Scotland. And that's why people are demanding change.
It's going to be critical that he sets out clarity about the future policy direction of the Scottish Government. We believe it's necessary that Scotland has a progressive government, one that will accelerate action on the climate and nature emergency, as well as working toward a fairer and more equal society.
John Swinney will seek parliamentary approval tomorrow. On Wednesday, an official swearing-in is likely to take place at the Court of Session, and then all eyes will turn to who could be in his cabinet. If it all goes according to plan, John Swinney could be set to answer his First Minister's questions this Thursday, which would be 2 weeks to the day since the downfall of the Bute House Agreement. Vanessa Taff, STV News in Glasgow.
Well, to the day's other news now, and a motorcyclist has died after a 3-vehicle crash in Stirlingshire. A 54-year-old man was taken by air ambulance to Ninewells Hospital in Dundee, where he's in a critical condition. A 50-year-old man riding a Suzuki died at the scene. 2 people travelling in a car were not hurt, and police are appealing for witnesses. A 30-year-old man has been arrested following a disturbance in Paisley this afternoon involving a weapon. 2 police officers were injured in the incident that happened after a collision between a car and a stationary police vehicle on Glasgow Road between Bucclivie Road and Allerton Avenue. Drivers are being asked to avoid the area while inquiries are ongoing. Now, Scottish scientists are examining ways to shoot the messenger that allows cells to grow in the wrong place in the bowel, which can lead to cancer. Researchers in Glasgow have received more than £200,000 from Cancer Research UK to look at the role DNA plays in the development of cancer in the bowel. It's hoped it will detect and treat bowel cancer early and prevent it from spreading to other parts of the body.
Messenger RNA is really the message that is transmitted to the cell to tell it how to grow and divide and make more cells. And so what we are doing is we've worked out how to stop the message being transmitted to the cell, and what we're hoping is that if we can stop that happening in cancer cells, we can stop them growing and dividing and stop tumour growth.
Well, sport now, and heavyweight Highlander Tom Stoatman has been crowned as the world's strongest man for the third time in 4 years. The 29-year-old from Invergordon clinched the coveted title at the competition in South Carolina at the weekend.
A dry start to the day will become increasingly splashy. TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Hello, good evening. Well, the main story for the rest of this week is that we're seeing a large area of high pressure building in across the UK. High pressure normally means good weather, but unfortunately for us here in Scotland, we're just at the top edge of that high. So come the middle of the week, it will allow frontal systems to move in, and those fronts will bring with it a bit of cloud and a band of rain, particularly to the north and the northwest. Back to just now though, and those heavy thundery showers that we've been seeing throughout the course of the afternoon across central and western parts are continuing to spread southwards, fizzling out as they go though. So it will be turning drier through the second half of the night. We're still holding on to a load of low cloud mist and murk though across Shetland, and temperatures not dropping too far. A mild night to come, lows of around 9 or 10 degrees Celsius. So looking ahead to Tuesday morning, a mild start to the day, a bright start across parts of the Western Isles, Caithness and Sutherland, Moray and Aberdeenshire. Elsewhere though, central and southern parts holding on to that cloud. We'll see some drizzly outbreaks of rain, temperatures reaching highs of around 14 or 15 degrees Celsius. A rain will spread in from the northwest on Wednesday. Bye-bye.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
Well, that's all from me for now. STV News will be back with the latest from 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Join us then. Good night.